everybody. Hi, Port. I feel like the stream might not be going quite as well today as usual, but we'll find out. On my screen, at least, the frame rate looks pretty choppy, and that's unusual. I don't know what would cause that. Anyway, we're going to keep going. No, maybe we're not. Hold on one second. Let me just try one thing. I'll be right back with you, okay? Hang on. Okay, one other thing. All right, it says we're live again, and it looks much better on my end. I don't know if it made any difference, or if there was even a problem to start with, but here we are, I think. Hi. Hi, everybody. All right. Sorry for the false start. So here we are with Port and her oranges, and we're in the annex, of course. It is the 26th of March. It's a Friday. These kittens are almost 2 weeks old. They'll be 2 weeks old on Sunday. They just had a big breakfast. Now they're having a little nap. So I don't think we're going to spend a whole lot of time here with them this morning, but I do want to bother them enough to see who's got their eyes open today for you and for me, because I was looking at them, but I didn't actually pay attention to who had their eyes open and who didn't. Port's just laying out here with me and purring. I know once I start bothering her babies, though, she's going to get up and go back in there to keep an eye on them. Or once I start bothering her, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough, 40. All right, well, let's run down the list in order and see where everybody's at as far as seeing goes. Let's see the seeing. Hi. Okay, so we have Halifax. Now, buddy, if you just squint and he's just a tiny bit open this morning, so that's Halifax. Hi. Hi, Halifax. Well, we do hear you, though. He wants to talk to all of his fans. Oh, he wants to yell at all his fans. Okay, then. Hal, you have a seat, buddy. Here's Dover. I see you already. That was easy. Dover's the one with the mark in the middle of his back. Dover's got two eyes, 3/4 of the way open, I would say. You can see that the outside edge isn't completely open yet, but he's working on it. Come here, buddy. Let me make sure you're all supported so you don't have to flail around. We got you. Hi, bud. That's little Dover this morning. All right, now we're looking for Bombay. Should be easy to find, but he must be one of the ones that's got his back end a little hidden. Maybe he's this guy in the corner, because I can't see that one. Nope. Try again. Here? Too small to be him. You are too small to be him. All right, now we're just kitten shuffling. Let's see. You? Nope. 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 It's none of them. None of them are. Oh, there he is. Okay, that was really. You had me fooled, buddy. I thought I could see the spot where it would be, and I couldn't. So here's little Bombay this morning. Yeah, he's got concerns. The way his eye isn't quite open yet, he looks like he's concerned, doesn't he? Oh. Okay, buddy. We'll put you right back in, Bombay. There we go. So next we'll want to take a look at Puget. Eeny, meeny, miny. Nope, nope, nope. Is it you? No? Is it you? No. Is it you? No. Okay, it's none of you again. We're right back to this, aren't we? Okay, it's you, but you're hiding his mark in a little wrinkle. I didn't see it because he had his arm moved the wrong way, but that's definitely Puget. So this is Puget. Puget, didn't you have both eyes open just a little bit ago? You going backwards, buddy? Maybe I'm making that up. I might have you confused with Antwerp, but I thought you had both. Maybe not. Okay, buddy, okay. I've got a lot to say about it, too. Also, his belly is unusually big. I've been trying to get him to poop for me, and he hasn't been, but that doesn't mean he hasn't been for Mom. His weight gains and reductions seem like they're on course, so I'm not too worried about it, but I'm going to keep trying anyway. Look at him. He's so I know, but here, stand up here for a minute. Just stand right up here. Come on, I want everybody to see this with me so they can see what I'm seeing. Look at the size of that belly on this little guy. Okay, I know. Oh, you don't like doing that dance? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. Okay, let's go back down. I'm sorry. Yes, you've made your opinion quite clear. Okay, all right. Scritches. Okay, so next we're going to look for Rotterdam. Rotterdam can be difficult for me to find in the first place. Oh, what? There, I got him in one. How about that? I just happened to pick him. Good job. Okay, so there's Rotterdam. What does that look about? Okay, pal. We got you. Nothing to worry about. They all have big bellies. I just feel like Puget's is extremely exaggerated. but, but they're looking good. So there we go. That's Rotterdam. Now we'll look for Antwerp, who's one of the small ones who has both of his eyes open. Oh, he's right here. No, that's not. I got my left and my right confused once again. That happens to me a little too often. Here he is. He's nursing. He can stop for just a minute. We just all had a chance to do that. Here's our little Antwerp. And he's still the smallest, but he's starting to do very well. I should talk to you guys as soon as we check them all. I can just, I guess I can just start. One of them had lost weight last night. I think it was Puget. Actually lost a little bit of weight in between weigh-ins. And so that and the fact that so many of them seem like they just want to do the minimum gain each day. I say want to as though they have any agency in what's happening to them. This is Sydney, by the way. Sydney doesn't have his eyes open at all yet. He and Rio are very big kittens, but they seem to be putting all of those calories into being huge and not into getting their eyes open, which is okay, by the way. It's fine. We've had some that go just a little over 2 weeks before their eyes open. It seems like Sydney and Rio might be on the 2 week plan. We'll probably see it soon, though. Speaking of Rio, let's find him somewhere. Hal's getting very close, though. I can see that Hal's going to be having his open in the next couple of days. Where am I? Here we go. Oh, you're Rio. Did I just say your eyes were closed? Who was I thinking of? Hal? I must have been thinking of Hal. All right, whatever. Folks, I'm about to explain. Being confused. I've got a great excuse. So, what I was saying is that last night I weighed them, and Puget was actually down a little bit, and that combined with the fact that they're all doing the minimum made me as unhappy as little Rio here, and I thought, all right, it's time to really take some action. We're going to send these kittens to the Kitten Military Academy, whip them into shape. What we're really doing is I'm going to start weighing them at least 4 times a day. We'll figure it out, and then when I weigh them, anybody who's not up more than 0.2 in the last 24-hour window is going to get tube fed, and anybody who is up that much is still going to get offered the syringe so they can nurse on it if they want. I'm surprised to find that some of them, on and off when they're really hungry, they do. We've had several nursings happen from the syringe, and that's fun. They eat when they do nurse from the syringe. They go much faster than I push with the tube. I mean, it's a difference of like I take 15, 20 seconds, and they do it in like 5. Either way, it's still pretty quick. So my point was, of course, that I'm going to start checking on these guys more times a day, and anybody that is falling behind in a window is going to get immediately tubed. We're just going to stay right on top of it, and that's the new plan. So, look, you're just going to fall asleep since I picked you up? Who is this? Who is this little hand sleeper? Buddy? Oh, that's Rotterdam again. You were just complaining so much, and now you're like, okay, hold me, I'm going to go to sleep. Oh, now you're going to yell. Okay. All right. So, Yeah, I saw somebody ask about what the black marks are, and that's what it is. They're all orange and white, and I can't tell them apart by looking at them to save my life yet. So right now, what we're doing is we're marking them each with a little dot of food coloring. This is Dover, and I can tell because his little dot is in the middle of his back. So it depends on where the dot is, tells us which the kitten it is. So if we look at this guy, we look for his little dot, it must be on his belly. Yep, turn him over. There it is. That makes this one Rio. And similarly for the others, I know this one is the dot right by the tail. That makes this one Bombay. Here we have the dot is on the right shoulder, and that makes it Puget. And if you have trouble knowing who's who, it is in the description of the regular Kitten Academy live stream, but it's also this cheat sheet that DJ made is on our website, kitten.academy, and it's got each name near where their dot is. So you can see that, and that should help you out a little bit if you're looking on the stream and you want to know which kitten it was and you see where the dot is, then you will know. We got some peepers looking out into the world today. Hi, what are you looking at out here? Oh, two of you and Mom's foot. What are we looking at? So, a couple other things I want to address before we run downstairs to try to find the Brady bunch, the older kittens. Um, let's see. Yesterday, we noticed that Mom was panting, and it isn't completely unusual for Mom to pant still at this point, 2 weeks out. That's not completely unusual. But it was getting a little warm in the box, just like 4 or 5. I keep a thermometer right here so I can always test. This is a thermometer that Pat sent us to try to take the temperatures of the cats, and it doesn't really work very well for that. It's not reliable enough, but it is great for taking the surface temperature of the box. It works really well for that. So I just switched to surface temperature and I check a couple spots in the box to see how we're doing. And right around 75 to 85 is pretty normal for us. And if we're in that range, I feel like we're doing fine for the kittens. Here's the kitten pile, and Mom is closer to 90. So that's just the surface temperature, obviously not their internal temperature. And yesterday it was a little higher than that. It was just a tiny bit higher than usual. So that might have contributed to her panting. I don't think that she was in any, trouble, but we're going to have an even worse situation today. It's going to be our second actually warm day in a row, and by actually warm I mean 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not, warm by most people's standards, but by Connecticut spring standards, that's pretty warm. It's going to be really nice. It's going to be in the mid 70s. I can hear the birds singing right now. They're all happy about it. I'm happy about it. And as much as I would like to keep the windows open today, based on what happened in here yesterday, specifically for her, I think we're fine most of the rest of the house, but I'm going to have to close all the windows and try to get the air conditioning running today, just to keep it a little cooler in here just for her. Now, we haven't reached those lofty, overheated temperatures yet. So right now I've got her window open, and we're trying to take full advantage before it gets to midday. I for one, am excited. It's going to be a real nice day out there. AstroCat, it's funny that you mentioned putting a computer fan in the box. I don't think I'm going to do that, but I had the exact same thought. I still might even consider it, but I don't know. We're going to see how we do today on just the air conditioning. We wouldn't be able to just do one or the other. If we were going to do it, we'd do both. But I don't think that there's a lot of airflow into the box because there's just one entrance, and as big as it is, it might end up being a nice idea to put a little fan in the box at some point. I'm still thinking about it. Marie Chamberlain asks, how many litters has this cat had? We wouldn't know. We're not breeders. We don't breed cats. We rescue them. We find them at animal shelters or through animal control. This one actually came to us through an animal shelter in Georgia. And when they turn up at the animal shelter already pregnant, we are one of the people, one of the fosters that specializes in handling the pregnant mom cats. So they sometimes will send them to us. So that's what happened. I can add just a tiny bit of information to that, though, is she was what we call an owner surrender, which means that she lived with people, and for some reason, those reasons can vary quite a bit. She got dropped off at the animal shelter and sent to us. And we heard through the grapevine that she has had many litters before. So normally we don't get to hear that kind of things, so we wouldn't even know. But in this case, we do know it's not her first rodeo, which I think I could have told too, just by the way she has behaved with them. She does seem like it's really not her first time, and that's all we know. Yeah, Ellie, I do not want to get into speculation about why she was dropped off. There's, like I said, there's lots of reasons. Some of them good, some of them bad. We don't need to judge anybody. I wouldn't in any case. I'm sure that whatever happened, people were trying to do the best for her, and in fact, they did do the best for her. She couldn't have asked for a better outcome. I will just add, though, as a bit of flavor, there's cats like Smokey that we got when her owner died. She got sent to the shelter. She outlived her first owner. I thought maybe she was working on outliving the second one too. Anyway, we don't. All right, that I shouldn't get into that either right now. And anyway, my point being, there's lots of reasons that there can be what they just call it an owner surrender when somebody that owns the cat or is related to them or whatever drops them off, and that can cover a huge range of things. Doesn't necessarily mean that there was anything bad. Well, Leah, why not put the cheat sheet inside the box? That was so. Would that be so that Port could tell them apart? It would be really hard for me to see in there, and it's really there for my benefit. See, you can see that it's a little tricky to see into the box. We're not just the camera looking in there. Um, but and originally this was turned the other way, so it was right next to the box for me, and now I moved the end table, and that messed things up a little bit, but I can still see it very well. And I'm starting to need it less and less. I am starting to get to know all the names, and like I said before, it's very likely I'm going to get all the names exactly right, just in time to stop marking them and start putting on collars, and then I have to learn them all over again by color instead of location. That's going to be a fun one, but we'll figure it out. We'll get there. Why don't we go downstairs and see the Brady Bunch? I definitely spent more time up here with these kids than I intended. If you want to keep watching them, they are on the Kitten Academy live stream here on YouTube, 24 hours a day. You can watch them all the time until you're just sick of it, which, could happen in theory. I don't think it ever has, but it could. So, definitely Kitten Academy live stream. You can watch the kittens right now, but we are going to go downstairs and find the Brady Bunch, the older kittens that we have. All right, Port, we're going to leave you here to chill out on the cool floor. I'll come back and fix up the camera and stuff the way that we usually put it. I'm not going to do that right now. I am going to grab my coffee, though. Give me 1 sec with the coffee. A moment, just for me and my coffee, please. Oh yeah, my best friend. Okay. We got our Maggie cup this morning. All right. Come back and pick that stuff up that needs to be picked up. I am going to take just an instant with our hand sanitizer, and while I'm rubbing that in, I am going to put on my shoes. I know we never used to wear shoes around the academy, but this is an attempt to improve some issues that I'm having with some orthotics in the shoes. Hi, Ari. Did you want to say something? Anything else? You talking to your fans? Meow. Meow. Ari seems like most of the cats sort of have their territories. Ari seems to like to hang out around the kitchen zone and then ambush me and yell at me to be picked up and paid attention to. Yes. And then when he wants a rest, he goes to the second annex and hangs out in that little nut house. You know the nut house. Anyway, here are the Bready boys. They've had their other doors open, so they've been able to run around all day. I'm just coming in this way, and they're like, "Oh, it's a new place." It's not a new place. You could have gone around. You know that. You guys know your way around this house already. So they went in just yesterday for a checkup and for their vaccines, and I will tell you that the vaccines and the checkup went very well. Um, Yeah, everything went very well. Everybody's very healthy. Sorry, I just saw something that I wanted to respond to. I saw somebody say, watching the Kitten Academies made me want to adopt a litter of kittens with their mom, but I don't know how to find one. I live too far away. I do want to respond to that. So first off, I don't think that adopting an entire litter with their mom is a great plan. That's too many cats for pretty much anybody. I do think adopting one or two kittens with their mom is a great idea because mom cats can be a little bit more tricky to get adopted out. As much as I think that they're the most wonderful part of the Kitten Academy. This is Flower, by the way, who is the mom of the Brady Bunch and is the sweetest thing. Oh my gosh. She kind of has resting mom face, but she is a bigger snuggler and just a bigger sweetie, even than Port, who you know is very sweet. But I think Flower here really takes the cake. So, what I was going to say though is if that is the kind of thing that sounds interesting to you because you've been watching Kitten Academy, oh, looks like Rye lost his red collar again. Wonder where he put it. If that's the kind of thing that sounds cool to you because you've been watching Kitten Academy, I have a much better idea for you, and that is to find your local animal shelter and volunteer to foster. Now, I don't suggest that you start out fostering a pregnant mom. That's definitely the kind of thing that takes some building up to. All right, so don't think that you're going to jump right in and foster a pregnant mom. But I do think that you should volunteer to foster, and maybe they'll start you out with some kittens. Kittens that are about this age still need fosters at most shelters, at a lot of shelters. And you could definitely take care of kittens that are this age. These guys are just over, what would they be now? 9, 10, 11, 12. So they're just about 2 months old, give or take a bit. And you could foster kittens that are just about 2 months old without any previous experience. This is not a difficult age to take care of. And I would suggest that you start fostering some kittens these age, let them get adopted out, and keep doing it until you are ready to foster a mom and her kittens. And then, if you've gotten that far and you still think adopting them all is a great idea, you will definitely have had enough experience to make that decision yourself. I think it's a great idea for anybody to do. I also would say that fostering kittens is kind of like the cheat code to adopting a cat because um, you get plenty of chances to interact with them and start to learn like what makes the perfect cat for you. Meanwhile, seeing lots of cats and kittens come through your house and come and go, and then you can make a truly informed decision about what kind of kitten or cat is going to work out best for you. And never mind the fact that it greatly helps your local animal shelter. They always need extra fosters. They always do. So that's my suggestion. I say go for it. That's a great idea to do that. This is Potato. Hi, Potato. Hi, buddy. What are you smelling back there? It is hard to let them go, which is, that's also sort of baked into what I said, though. If you start out with kittens this age and you just can't let them go, well, then you figured out what you're going to adopt, haven't you? um, we worked with an animal shelter for a little while that had the fostering process. I mean, they made it into an assembly line. They had exact, strict rules and a handbook and the whole thing. And they'd done it that way because almost everybody that they had planned it that way, I guess, where almost everybody that fostered for them would foster fail and only foster for them once. They would just foster once, end up adopting those cats or kittens because they couldn't let them go, and then never doing it again. And they'd really streamlined their process around that. And I gotta say, as much as they didn't work out with us, because that's not what we're doing, obviously, I think that that's a great plan for them as a shelter, and I think that it really worked out well for them. Really clever, in fact. And much to your point, I think a lot of people who do foster are going to foster fail. We call it foster failing. It's a joke, really. It's a joke because it's not a failure. Failure to foster and then adopt some kittens. That's not a failure for anybody. That's a huge success. But calling it foster fail is the joke. Weird City, Kitten Academy. Why no super chat feature? May I ask? Yeah, actually, the reason that we've disabled super chat is DJ made that decision specifically. She didn't want people, first off, she didn't want people to be able to sort of spam chat with any message that they wanted just because they paid some money for it. That doesn't seem right. But she also, I think what she really didn't want was for some people to feel like their messages were more important than others and to have that feeling that your message is more important than someone else's message be based on how much money you put in. It just didn't seem right. So that's why we don't do it. What are we doing in here? What are you smelling? I bet this rug smells so interesting. Look at you. You got that look on your face like you just smelled something really interesting, didn't you? This is actually our newest rug, second newest rug at the Academy. But it's in the food room, and therefore it is often the target of kitty vomit. And we clean it up. It's very clean, but I'm sure it's still full of interesting smells, even if it's just the smell of the cleaning soap. It's probably not. Anyway. Oh, now Potato's getting his back up a little bit towards Ari. That rug really ties the room together. Yeah, well, it does. I guess it does. Yeah, if your goal, I guess it's worth mentioning. If your goal is to donate to us by super chat, um, we do have a Patreon. That's really the only way that we encourage people to donate to us. And the Patreon gets you access to our Discord, which is a chat that we use. And I've said it before. I do regret sort of needing to keep the chat behind that paywall. I have a sort of a philosophical objection to paywalls in general, especially on the internet. But in this case, we've done it for reasons that I think are very good reasons. And so far, it's working out really well for us because it is I've said it before, the best place on the internet. It's full of wonderful people. And I think that that's all factored together into that decision. Also, let me mention, though, that for reasons that are much too in-depth to get into in the remaining couple of minutes that we have for this close-up, Kitten Academy is not a charity. So if you want to make a donation that is tax deductible under United States law, I have no idea how it works internationally, we would encourage you to donate to the shelter that we work with, which is the Danbury Animal Welfare Society. They are the ones that find us our mom cats and that process applications for these kittens. So let me say, the Danbury Animal Welfare Society, or DAWS, they're DAWS, DAWS.org on the internet. They have a donation page. They are a charity, and I'm not a tax accountant. Don't take tax advice from somebody on the internet, but I do believe that any donation that you'd like to make them can be something that you deduct. So that would be the way to do it. Then the other thing that I would like to just to point out, as long as we're talking about money, which I try not to do very often, but we don't. We like to manage the kittens very much on our own, and a part of that deal with DAWS and with every shelter that we have worked with is we pay for all of the medical care and food and everything for these kittens. Where most of this, I think most of the shelters, if you are going to foster kittens, most shelters will help you out with that stuff. They will cover the medical care for the kittens and that sort of thing. We've got a lot of reasons that we feel like we need to do that ourselves, so we do. And I like to say we would do it ourselves regardless. That was the commitment that we made when we started doing this. But these days we don't have to because so many of you have helped us so much that that has really taken over managing all of that. You guys have, and we're so grateful for that. It's wonderful. And it's wonderful for things like Millet, who does have at least a surgical consult coming up and possibly surgery. We'll find out then. And we don't have to worry about it at all because all of the Patreon donations uh, are held in reserve for exactly that sort of thing, and the usual expenses as well. But we have what I guess I would call a war chest, ready to do things like go to war on chests, millets in specific. That was a bit of a stretch, wasn't it? But I tried, didn't I? Corn does not approve of my attempt at wordplay. All right, I tried though. Well, that's it, guys. I just went on about, I don't know, stuff that I usually try not to talk so much about. I hope it was informative. If you want to take one thing from what I just said, I think it would be call up your local shelter and volunteer or foster or something if you can. Or what? Oh, look at that. We got somebody using the cat wheel. Do you think I could encourage him to do it some more? Corn. What have I got that's a toy I can use to get him up here? Corn. Where's that? I need a toy that is something that hopefully makes a noise. I don't know. All I've got is this big white ball right here. Let's try this. Come on. Hey, buddy, what is this? Oh, I know. I'm making noise by bumping into the tree that's right here. Come on, buddy, get it. Come on, you can get it. Come on, Corn, you can get it. I did want to say one other thing. I haven't read the comments from yesterday's close-up on YouTube yet. I will say as a general rule, I kind of try to stay out of the comment section. That's not entirely true. I think I read most of them, or at least see most of them at some point. But I did want to just clarify one thing that I said yesterday before I forget while we're trying to see if Corn is going to run after this ball on the treadmill. Corn, come get it, buddy. Come get it. Come on. Which I was talking about what we do to try to keep them from biting. And the one thing that I feel like I really should clarify that I should have said a little more carefully is there's a progression. And of course, the things that we think are the best ways to stop a kitten from biting are to distract them with a toy, to do something that is really positive in every sense, just to get them redirected onto something else. That's where you should definitely start. If you have a kitten that's too bitey, keep a toy in your pocket. I'm talking to myself here. I need to start keeping a biting toy in my pocket, one of those little sharks or something. And then it's always there when I need to get Potato, for instance, to bite something else. Corn, you're doing great, but you are just not running. You're just kind of taking a stroll on the treadmill. I know how that is. I have those days too, though. He's doing it a little bit, though. That was pretty good. Anyway, okay, that's what I wanted to clarify, and thank you guys so much for joining us today. Thanks for listening to me ramble, especially about stuff that is not, I guess, it's kitten tangential at best. And let me just re-emphasize, because I kind of blew past it really quickly. Thank you so much to all of you. To those of you that are just watching, you do us a great favor by helping us get the kittens adopted and helping us get sort of the attention that we need. And not just in the I desperately need people on the internet to watch us sense, but in the we desperately need to get these kittens adopted to excellent people sense. The more that people watch, the more that happens, and that's all thanks to you. But because we talked about the Patreon and medical expenses and things, definitely thank you so much to all of you who do contribute in that way. We appreciate it so much. You guys are really helpful. You help us out every single day, and you especially help us out when it comes to things that are a little bit out of the normal for us, like Millet here and his surgical consult coming up on April 7th. Finally, speaking of things I did blow past pretty quickly, our website has some new pictures on it, kitten.academy. Go check it out. And they did fine at the vet yesterday, and Millet got a little checkup from our vet just to see how he's doing, and she says he's doing fine. And he's fine to wait until the 7th for his surgical consult. She doesn't feel like it needs to be an emergent seat or anything like that. So there you have it. Yes, I did say emergent seat. That's, I don't know, it's one of those words that I mangle intentionally because it used to be an inside joke and now it's part of my vocabulary. Okie dokie, that's it, everybody. Thanks again. Really appreciate it. If you want to keep trying to watch these kittens, who I know there's no camera on the regular stream right now in this room, I can turn it on if they're going to stay in here. But if you want to keep watching these kittens or the ones upstairs, tune into the Kitten Academy live stream here on YouTube. Check our website for close-up photos, kitten.academy. And have a wonderful day and a great weekend. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. on the Kitten Academy live stream for Mailbag. And then our next close-up should be on Sunday if it goes according to plan, which it often does and often doesn't. That's it. Thanks, everybody. This is a Kitten Academy far away. It's the opposite of a close-up. They're all over there. Whatever. All right. Thanks, folks. You're right. It would be a far down, Bill. That's what I was looking for. This is a Kitten Academy far down. Kittens. Can we see anybody else before we end this? No, the end. Okay. Oh, there you are. Good enough.